Hi, it's and welcome back to my channel for another video. And today I am going to be setting up my back to school pages in my bullet journal, and I'm doing a little bit of a different intro than what I normally do, just to explain a little bit on my back to school experience and to explain a little bit more about my pages before we get into them. Basically, I am going back to school, but I'm only going to be a part-time student this year. I'm going back after a couple years of medical leave, so my experience is gonna be a little different. I'm not gonna need all of the normal typical pages. I just made what will work for me. If you want to find more typical pages, I already have two other back to school pages. I have one from last year that I made as an example, sorry for my voice, and also one that I made this year, which you can check out right now. I will leave it in the cards and in the description box down below. And if you are interested in getting yourself some back to school pages, I own my own shop making digital bullet journal pages. I will link everything down below and I will talk more about them later on. But without further ado, let's jump into this setup while we make my back to school pages. And I have a beautiful purple butterfly theme to share with you guys. And for this video, I am going to be using my Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pens as my fine liners, as well as my Uniball eye pens. And for the colors, I'm going to be using the Tombow Duo Brush markers. I'm going to use 2 shades of purple, and my notebook is from Sequest on Amazon, and everything is going to be linked in the description box down below if you want to go check that out, as well as timestamps if you are searching for a particular spread. And there will be a flip through at the end of this video so you can see all of the pages once they are all completed. And without further ado, we are now onto my first page, which is my cover page, and I kept it really simple. I just wanted a divider because my spreads are in the middle of the month of August, so I just wanted to have a separation page. I just wrote back to school using some lettering and some calligraphy. I used some black for the back to portion, and then the purple for the school section, and then I put the year, obviously. Sorry for the little blur, my camera stopped focusing, but here you can see the butterfly that are going to be the main feature of this theme. And I basically just drew out the shape, and then I drew some details inside of the wings. The top part of the wing, I have some elongated things that are from the middle all the way to the end, leaving a lot of black. And then there's like a C shape in the bottom, leaving just the outside in black, and then just some wavy line in the middle, if that made sense. And then I just colored in black the outside part of the wing, and in purple the inside. And some of the butterflies have a darker shade of purple and some a lighter shade. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but the whole theme is basically with different butterfly shapes, or should I say like poses. And also I wanted to give a little school update because I did the intro back when I first filmed this video, which was a couple months ago now, and things have changed. My school plans have changed. I was supposed to go back to high school, and in the end the school I was supposed to go to, I cannot attend anymore due to my disability. I'm in a wheelchair and we had some complication due to that, and I cannot go to that school. But thankfully, at the very last second, I have found an online school that does the same program as the high school that I was supposed to go to. So in the end, I'm going to be homeschooled. So these pages are for like my specific needs, but I made them for going to school, and it's gonna be a little different, but I think I can still make these pages work even for homeschooling, so I'm gonna share that too. I am interrupting this video really quickly to share my Etsy shop and my small business with you guys. As I said in the beginning of this video, I made digital bullet journal pages for this back to school season. I have 50 plus pages, bundles on my Etsy shop, and I also have a website as well. And I'm just gonna show them to you guys. I have a few smaller bundles as well if you are looking for something in particular, but I have 3 themes available. I have this floral pastel theme with like cute little flowers and an orange and blue color scheme, and all of the bundles have all of the pages that you might need as a student. It is both for college and for high school student, so hopefully you will have everything you might need to live your life as a student and to succeed as a student. And then I also have the version that I already had last year on my website, which is this mini rainbow theme with those more muted colors and a little bit darker colors, and they are exactly the same pages. All of them are hand drawn by me, and I really hope that you can go check them out and that they will help you. I also have a black and white version, which is all minimalist if you don't want to have all of the colors. All the pages are printable or they can be used online on an iPad, so I hope you will find something useful for you. And I will also do a giveaway, so don't forget to subscribe for that. And if you are interested in seeing more about my bullet journals, you can go to my Patreon and subscribe to my Patreon to get access to a free printable planner every single month from me. Here you can see the August one, so go check that out if you are interested in supporting me and getting some free printables. So now we can go back to the actual setup, and the next page is a key spread, and I think this one is a really important page to organize yourself as a student. At least it is for me. I use this page to really organize myself and make sure I always have all the color coding and symbols listed in there to make planning a lot easier later down the line. And basically for this page I have 18 by 24 dot grid spaces box, which is in the middle of the page, and then I just have the key title in the middle of the upper line. And then I separated the box into 2 columns by the middle, and the first column is going to be for my classes, which I always color code my classes, so it is going to be blank for right now. And when I get the list of the classes that I'm going to be attending, I'm gonna dedicate a color to each, and then when I do my class schedule, I'm gonna use the colors for that. If I have homeworks that I need to write into weekly spreads, that's the color I will be using, so everything is always the same. And then I just decorated the page with some butterflies to make it fit with the theme. And for the other side of the column, I have my symbols, and I always use the same ones. I use an open book for my homework, a clock for my deadlines, an upside down triangle for my tests, and then the square for any task, and then if they are finished, moved, started, and all of that, a exclamation point for important things, a question mark for questions, and then a sun for vacations. The next page is going to be a teacher's information page where you can log all of the information for any of your teachers, so things like their name, emails, if they have a phone number that they have given you, like any contact details that might be useful for all of your classes. So I made these little boxes for each one of my classes. They are 12 by 5 dot grid spaces, and then there's a 2 wide gap in the middle of the page, and then in between each of the boxes there is 1 dot grid tall. So I have 8 of them. I decided to make 8 because I didn't know when I made these pages how many classes I was going to have. Since I was supposed to be a part-time student, I knew I wouldn't have that many classes per year, so I didn't put that many, and I think it's gonna be plenty even for right now. So now I'm filling up the boxes with the class, which is the top header, and then underneath it I have teacher, email, phone, and then a blank section if there's any other information. And then I decided to add a drop shadow to every single one of the boxes. It is half a square wide, and I just did it on the right and then bottom section of all of the boxes just to make them have a little bit more depth. And then for the lettering, I did some simple calligraphy, which I usually do kind of like simple calligraphy because I just trace the letters in cursive, and then I go back in with the tumble markers and I make larger all of the down strokes. And then to make it a little bit more interesting, I did a shadow, which is just an outline, and I didn't do it fully over all the letters. I just did some parts of it. I hope it makes sense how I said it. My next page is a student classic. It is the class schedule, but I decided to make it a weekly schedule to also have every other activity that isn't necessarily my classes, since I also have my small business and then also just a lot of other things like YouTube. I wanted to have a weekly schedule where I could have kind of like block schedule and kind of dedicate certain days to certain activities, and also adding all of my medical appointments because I have a lot of physical therapies and other types of appointment that happen every week at the same time. So I wanted to have more like a schedule for everything. For how I made the page, it is on the left page, it is 18 by 32 dot grid spaces, and then on the right side I have 24 by 32 dot grid spaces, and then on the top I just have a line of color with the days of the week, and on the left side I have the little lines for the hourly schedule, which I didn't put in case because I didn't know like how much time the classes would take, so I just drew the line and left the hours blank to add them in later. And then I just added the title and then some decorations, and that's basically it for this page. I wanted to leave it as blank as possible to be able to customize it to fit my needs whenever I will know more about how school will go for me this year. And now I'm going to be making a yearly tracker, which is going to be for attendance. It is kind of a trial page. I don't know how it will work or if it will function for me or not, but I had this idea and I wanted to try it out. And basically it is a yearly tracker, like the year in pixel style, and I have a box with which is 12 dot grid spaces wide by 31 tall. So I have a little square for each day of the year, and then if let's say I have classes on the 3rd of November, I can go to the 3rd and then to November, and I can just find that day and add informations. And the idea I had behind it, I don't know if it will work or not, but it was to basically be able to say like if I missed like half a day or like the whole day, or like how much I missed, because unfortunately I have a pretty weak health, and I knew that when I was supposed to go back to in-person school that I would miss a lot of school. Unfortunately, that's just how I function. So I thought of this page to track it, but now that it's gonna be online, I'm gonna have like very few actual online lectures, so it's gonna actually make this extremely easy to use. So I will share kind of like in my vlogs and all of that how I'm using it, but I think it's gonna be very useful to track if I went or not to some classes, and to have like the overall look at the entire year at a glance. So my next page is going to be a very easy one. It is a future log, and if you have ever seen a bullet journal setup, you probably have already seen these type of pages, and it is not a new layout either. I just have the page which is separated down the middle, and then I have 6 dot grid spaces left at the top for the title, and then on each side of the line I have a mini calendar. The first one is for August, the second one is for September, and then they are slightly off to have on the left side the week for each week of the semester, and I'm just gonna like basically know in what week in the semester I am, and it's gonna help me like know where I'm at. And then I just added the title, and how I'm going to use it is basically to track all of the big assignments, deadlines, anything like big throughout the month that really needs a highlight, not just like homework, because I'm gonna have a page for that, but tests, exams, anything big and special will go on there, and it's easy to look back and reference. Now for my second to last page, it is going to be a little special because it is actually sideways onto the page, but you will see it like normally. I just recorded the preview sideways, and basically it is a giant table to keep track of all my grades. Basically I have one of these lines which is 2 dot grid spaces wide for each subject, so I have a line per subject. You can also have multiple lines per subject if it's necessary. And then I have the first column, which is for the subject, which I colored in purple, and then I have for my like overall, I have a column that's blank basically at the last one that is purple. The middle part is for the grades, and then the final column is for the final grade, and then I just have the very simple header which just says grades semester 1, and that is basically all for that page. It's nothing crazy, it's just a place for me to keep track of all my grades, so everything is nice and simple. And I've been using this page for a pretty long time now, and it's kind of like the layout that's been working for me for quite a while. I've been using it for a few years, and there's multiple ways to make a grades tracker, but this one just works for me, so that's the one I wanted to make again for this year. And now we are onto my very last page, which is the homework tracker or homework log, and this page is one that I make on the monthly basis based on how much homework I have, and I basically have 4 columns. The first one is for the assignment, and that one is the biggest one, obviously, because I will put the title of the assignment. It is 11.5 squares wide, or dot grid spaces wide, and then I have a 2.5 a 5 wide for subject. The next one is 3 wide for the due date, and then the last one is 2.5 wide for if it's done. And that's basically all for the homework tracker. Hopefully it made sense. Kind of stumbled here, but that is basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed and that you found this video useful. Here is the final flip through of all of the pages. Don't forget to check out my shop if you are interested in any of the planners, if you want to get one for yourself, or maybe you know someone that could benefit from it. Also, check out all of my other socials in the description box down below. I try to be a lot more active on there, and also give me any video suggestion that you have for me in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!